Hi and welcome to another episode of Quick Word, where we give you the headline features from our newsletter. This newsletter aims to connect and inform people that work with people about different health-related campaigns, events and resources in an uplifting and positive way. We acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands that were never ceded, that we live, work and record upon. We pay our respects to elders past and present and to those who may be visiting our website or listening to our podcasts today. My name is Jennifer Farinella and I'll be taking you through what you will find in this month's Quick Word. Let's dive in. Quick Word starts with Q. This month's quote is, "Humility is openness to new learning combined with a balanced and accurate assessment of our contributions, including our strengths, imperfections and opportunities for growth." This quote is by Brené Brown, who is a researcher, storyteller, and currently enraged Texan who spent the past 2 decades studying courage, vulnerability, shame, and empathy. Find out more at brenebrown.com. This month's useful fact. Motherhood changes a person. We all know this. Yet in so-called weird countries, weird meaning Western, educated, industrialised, rich and democratic, there is very little in the way of ritual to acknowledge this rite of passage, this fundamental transformation. The emerging concept of matrescence, like adolescence, is opening up a new conversation about the bind of modern motherhood helping to birth a new mothering culture. Becoming a mother is a huge, complicated life transition that can rock every fibre of a person's being. While the term matrescence may seem relatively new, it was actually coined in the 70s by medical anthropologist Dana Raphael. Read more from the Australian Birth Trauma Association at birthtrauma.org.au/what is matrescence. This month's Instagram highlight, what's on our mind? Some recent experiences got us reflecting on that expansive love we have for our friends. Amy Lou Wood speaks out about transformative platonic love in a BBC interview, and we couldn't agree more. That inner circle of friends where you are unapologetically your most honest, goofy, truest self. Your ride or dies, your vaults, your soulmates. It's time to tell them how much you love them. It's time to normalise saying, "I love you" to your friends. Only if you mean it, of course. If you're not sure, maybe it's time to do a friendship scan. Learn about different friendship layers in psychologist Chris Cheer's book, The New Rule Book. Poet, performer and full-time faffer, Georgie Jones, wraps it up in her poetry. "I propose we spend forever falling platonically in love. I wouldn't trust my foolish heart in the hands of anyone else anyway." Follow us on Instagram for more content like this. This month's campaigns and events. The mental health statistics in Australia are confronting. The Resilience Project's mission is to teach positive mental health strategies to help people become happier and more resilient. The Resilience Project share emotionally engaging stories with hundreds of schools, workplaces and communities to help make the topic of mental health more accessible. The research is clear. The more positive emotion you experience, the more resilient you will be. For that reason, they focus on 3 key pillars proven to cultivate positive emotion: gratitude, empathy, and mindfulness, or GEM. Their programs also have a strong focus on connection, purpose, kindness, emotional literacy, and physical health. Find out more about Resilience Project, the nationally best-selling book by Hugh van Cuylenburg at theresilienceproject.com.au. This month's Know Your Websites. 13 Yarn is the first Australian national crisis support line for mob who are feeling overwhelmed or having difficulty coping. They offer a confidential one-on-one yarning opportunity with a lifeline-trained Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander crisis supporter who can provide crisis support 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 13 Yarn empowers the community with the opportunity to yarn without judgment and provide a culturally safe space to speak about their needs, worries and concerns. They work to explore options for ongoing support, and community members will always be reassured they will be connected to another Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander person who will understand where they are coming from and value knowing how to listen without judgment or shame. Find out more at 13yarn.org.au. This month's Who Are? The Death Tech research team is a group of anthropologists, social scientists and human-computer interaction specialists based at the University of Melbourne in Australia and the University of Oxford in the UK. The team have been studying questions at the intersection of death, technology and society for more than a decade. The Death Tech research team is currently undertaking two major projects. Disposal of the Dead, Beyond Burial and Cremation, investigates emerging alternatives to and elaborations upon traditional methods of body disposal. Disposal of the Dead is a 3-year project funded by the Australian Research Council. And The Future Cemetery investigates the potential for new technologies to enhance the public's experience of the cemetery. The Future Cemetery is a 3-year project funded by the Australian Research Council, along with the Greater Metropolitan Cemeteries Trust as linkage partner. Find out more at deathTech.research.unimelb.edu.au. This month's On the Blog. One of the popular search terms that matches with one of the Caddyshack project blog titles is animal sex. Nope, we're not delving into why that is. Let's just imagine that the search term has something to do with the David Attenborough show. Anyway, here's a throwback to this November 2022 blog featuring fun facts about animals, including kangaroo confusion. Female kangaroos, all marsupials for that matter, possess 3 vaginal tubes but only 1 vaginal opening, eliminating any confusion on the part of their mates. When males inseminate females, their sperm travels up either or both of the side tubes, and about 30 days later, the tiny joey travels down the central tube, from which it slowly makes its way to its mother's pouch for the remainder of its gestation. Read the whole blog at caddyshack.com. This month's resource. The Sydney band Clews are back with the 2nd season of their podcast, Love Clews. Made up of siblings Lily and Grace Richardson, the 2nd season of the Love Clews podcast builds on prior discussions of love, sex and relationships, heralding the sisters into a new phase of life, ready to unpack the journeys of both themselves and their guests. Produced with Grace at the helm, the season of the podcast uses the sisters' experiences of love to dive into discussions about dating apps, self-love, social media, gender roles and creativity. Lily and Grace talk with guests from music, media and sport, as well as share personal insights from their own lives. Season 2 of Love Clews is available, with new episodes dropping weekly on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. This month's diary dates. For all our upcoming webinar dates, check our website where you can register for free and also complete free online modules like Nitty Gritty, Hepatitis B and C, and Because You Care in your own time. You can read our monthly blog, find the map which shows you where to access free condoms at services who are part of the Condom Dispenser project in the Illawarra and Shoalhaven, and order a free bag of 144 condoms, now with lube as well, from PlaySafe, New South Wales Health Australia. Thanks for listening to this episode of Caddyshack's Quick Word. We hope you learned something, found a useful link, or can pass it on to a colleague, friend, or family member. You can find all the details on our homepage on the web at caddyshackproject.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, or check out our On the Couch podcast series. Until next time, peace, love, and protection.